So this is day 2 of the mindfulness challenge with the sanctuary, and my name is Barry. And I know out there's probably a mixture. There's probably some of you who are very familiar with the practice of meditation, and then others might be newer. So I think either way, if you're coming to this brand new, then that's great. There's something we try to cultivate when we practice, which is called beginner's mind. So every time you practice, there's this freshness to it. Oh gosh, I wonder what will happen. What will I notice? So yeah, if you are new, great, and if you're more familiar, then perhaps remembering that key piece, just approaching this like it's the first time. And I might say a little bit about what we're doing when we practice mindfulness is we're working with attention. And it's extremely simple. I think it would be worthwhile to just explain this informally, and then we'll do a little practice. So even right now, if you just do nothing, you just sit there, you will notice certain things, certain aspects of your experience. What do you notice? You might notice certain sounds. You might notice lots of thoughts going on in your mind. Planning thoughts, or wondering about what this is, what will happen, am I doing it right? Or you might notice your body. Feel yourself sitting here. Different sensations. Noticing that you're breathing. And there's no effort whatsoever going on. You just naturally notice different things. This is part of mindfulness, just noticing what's here. It's extremely accessible, it's not complicated. And the other thing that we learn when we start to practice is that we can always choose what we pay attention to. So right now, in this moment, I could say, I'm going to pay attention to my feet on the floor. And I could bring my awareness down there and really notice the sensations that are appearing and disappearing, contact. I could choose to pay attention to my breathing. Just following even 1 or 2 cycles of breath. In breath and out breath. Or maybe choose to pay attention to sounds again. Could hear different sounds coming and going. Traffic outside. I live near a busy road. So there are these 2 things. There's what we notice, just different things that pop up. And then when we're practicing in the beginning, we work with this choosing. We choose what's called an anchor. So it's something that we can kind of pay a little bit more attention to without blocking everything else out. We can just go, okay, I can connect with my breathing, say, or be aware of sounds. And that helps keep us present. We have a little bit of focus, the same way an anchor would keep a kind of ship from drifting off. There's this anchor that we can come back to. And then if you're familiar with the practice of meditation, you'll know this all too well. If you're newer, one of the first things you'll notice is that I'm paying attention to my anchor, whatever that is, as we will in a moment when we practice. And then before you know it, your mind will just drift. It just happens continually. mind kind of craves stimulation and distraction, and so you'll be meditating and maybe aware of your breathing for a moment, and then the next thing you'll be compiling a shopping list or remembering something from yesterday or years ago, imagining a scenario, and your mind just keeps drifting. And you might stay lost in this stream of thought for a while. It's also part of the practice. And then one of the things that will happen by itself, again, you don't need to worry too much, you don't need to strain or struggle. At least once, I think you will remember. You'll go, oh yeah, I've drifted, I've lost contact with my anchor, breath maybe, or sounds, or feet on the floor. And in that moment of awareness, it's a moment of mindfulness, and you can again choose. So I'll choose to maybe bring my attention back to my body for a moment. Remember, I'm sitting here, and I can reconnect. You can do that now. Just maybe enjoy the feeling of breathing for a moment. And then your mind will drift again before you know it. It just keeps happening, this drifting, this remembering, and this kind of with kindness is really important as well. So not to be harsh and not to be cross. It's almost like give yourself a pat on the shoulder and go, okay, well done, come back, remember, settle in, reconnect. So hopefully that makes sense. This is just to keep it very simple. We're sort of training attention here a little bit, and we don't have to work very hard, and we can be friendly. So that said, we'll do a little practice just so you can experience some of this. And when we sit, the two things we're balancing are to sit in a way that's relaxed and also alert. You could maybe, the world's your oyster, kind of set yourself up in a way that strike that balance. Maybe if you're sleepy, you have a straight back. Maybe if you are a little bit tense and restless today, you can prioritize comfort. I'm sitting cross-legged because that's what's comfortable, but you don't have to sit that way. You could be sitting in a chair, just letting your hands maybe rest on your lap. And then again, so much flexibility during this practice. I'll suggest something and it might be helpful. And if it is, great. And if it isn't, that's great too. You can always choose to go your own way. So your eyes could be open for this practice, or you might like to close them. You can change your mind at any time during the practice too. So to begin with, just a pause, simply pausing. All too often we're in a rush, even when we practice something like meditation, rushing to the next moment. What do you notice when you pause? Different things, maybe the sounds that are here, the state of mind, busy mind, sometimes calm and quiet. Your body. your breath. And there's no effort involved. This is just present, being aware. Just inviting you to exercise that ability to choose. You can choose what we're going to pay attention to. Maybe noticing that you're sitting here. And it's very simple. Can you feel the points of contact your body is making with the chair or with the floor? And again, it's so tempting to rush. If you can, maybe staying with it, it's that sense of contact and support. It's something very real and tangible. I know that I am sitting. You can come back to that any time during the practice. Could be like a home base. Your feet on the floor and your bum on the chair. Maybe inviting you to, with that curiosity again, what do you notice in the body as you sit here? So for me and many others, when we connect with the body, one of the first things we can notice is all the tension here. Sometimes it's like a coiled spring. And again, from mindfulness, it's not that this is bad or anything like that, but it's just kind, really, to sometimes respond a little. If you notice that your forehead and your eyes are very tense, it might be possible to soften a little. Softening around the eyes, perhaps, or just a subtle smile on the lips. You could take a moment or two yourself just to see, is there any obvious unnecessary tension here in the body? And again, maybe it's possible to let go, even a little. Just a way of settling in. From here, if you like, again, this is all invitational. So if something's not helpful, you can ignore it. You can always go your own way. Maybe noticing breathing. Again, this doesn't take much effort. Just a little bit of interest and curiosity. Noticing your breath. And this is something we can choose to pay attention to. What do you notice about the breath? What does the in-breath feel like? These little details we normally miss. Maybe you can feel cool air around your nostrils, or movement somewhere in the body. Sometimes feel a little bit more awake, alert. What does the out-breath feel like then? Might feel warmer. Might be a sense of ease. Sometimes it can feel the body settling a little. Calm. In a very simple way, this could be an anchor for us right now. Just noticing breathing. Enjoying breathing. Like waves rising and falling. Cool and then warm. Breathing in, alert maybe. Breathing out, calm. So this is the anchor, and then if you in this moment are aware of something else, that's fine. You don't need to waste energy blocking things out. Sometimes we'll naturally notice sounds, or a little sensation in the body makes itself known, or a very loud sensation sometimes. Or the mood might change. All these things, everything's welcome. It's okay. And in the midst of it all, perhaps this anchor, feeling the feet on the floor, or hands in your lap. And just enjoying this breath. In and then out. Maybe it's possible without straining to just gently sustain attention. And you probably noticed already, because you're a human, this mind is so busy sometimes. And you forget all about the body, all about the breath, and then lost in thought. So maybe remembering when that happens, that that's also part of the practice. You're not doing it wrong. Noticing when it drifts, and then that moment of remembering, oh yeah, and see if this is true. Right now you can choose. You can choose to slowly come back to the body again, maybe. And allow the body to settle if it needs to. And then there's no rush. Just noticing this next breath. Subtle sensations that accompany the in-breath. And the out-breath. And then whatever else you notice, that can be part of the practice. It doesn't need to feel like work. It shouldn't feel like work. On certain days we can practice and the mind might be really steady and clear, and then other days it's the opposite and we continually are pulled away. But if it's like that, maybe not giving yourself a hard time, just lots of opportunities to come back. This is the practice, remembering. Little smile. Gentle and easy. Maybe back to the body. And then this next breath. Enjoying breathing. From here, we'll experiment a little. See if you can just notice your whole body. Maybe sensing right now all the points of contact. Feet, the backs of the legs, your back, the hands resting on your lap. Sensing the weight of the body. Opening your attention a little. We have that capacity. Sometimes we can be very focused, maybe feeling breath in the nostrils, and then other times we can open up. Maybe just right now aware as best you can of your whole body. Just sitting here. Maybe noticing the body breathing. Might be aware of subtle movements. Body expanding a little with the in-breath. Just that settling, the heaviness with the out-breath. Maybe this could be the anchor just for the last little bit. No big effort, just resting here, aware of the whole body breathing, moment by moment. Not needing to rush to the next moment. You drift, and that's okay. Just gently coming back. And so we're going to very gradually come to an end for this practice. Maybe a deeper breath or a little yawn. Some conscious movement. If your eyes were closed, they could open. Maybe just seeing how simple it all is, even after this formal practice, maybe once or twice today, you might have that experience of realizing when you've drifted, you're lost in thought, and then just the informal practice of, oh yeah, you could maybe come back, 1 or 2 conscious breaths, and going on with whatever you're doing. Yeah, not complicated. Hope you enjoyed that. Take care. Bye.